Hello and welcome to this crossword solve. It's from the Financial Times. It's number 18,273 and today is Wednesday the 21st of January 2026. This happens to be set by Goliath. So starting with one across, perhaps New Zealander and South American will take hint by the 1st of October, 10 letters. Well, 1st of October is the letter O somewhere. I suspect the definition is perhaps New Zealander, which would be an example. Antipodean would fit, and that does include the letter O. Let's put it in and see if we can't figure out why. Okay, yeah, tip is hint, which is next to the letter O, 1st of October, and presumably if somebody is Andean from the Andes in South America, they could be described as such. One down. Excited to enter synagogue. Well, if you're excited, you're agog, and to enter is a enclosure indicator, and the word agog is embedded in there. Two down. Wood frames for the artwork. Okay, frames is an indicator of looking at the outer letters. So T and E and A and K gives teak, which is a type of wood. Three down. Lonely type. He recycled plastic. 12 letters. Lonely type he is 12 letters, anagramized for recycled. Plastic is the definition. Can't quite see it yet. Let's try 9 across. Assorted mixture of island folk. 2, 3, 5. Okay, island folk will give us the correct number of letters. Mixture of being the anagram indicator. I suppose you can make the phrase of all kinds. Let's try 5 down. Extra cover for Charlie's habit. Yeah, okay. So cover for Charlie is the letter C. Charlie does not abbreviate to the letter C. An addition is something that's extra, and an addiction is a habit. Four down. Doctor and author has energy. Sometimes doctor can be an anagram indicator as a verb to alter something, to doctor it, but that's not the case here. Energy is drive, I suppose. If somebody has drive, they have energy. And that would be DR for doctor, and author is I've, as in the person who set it. Let's try 12 across. Consequence concerning tens. We don't have 10 across yet, and I suspect that's a reference we need to look at. See if we can get it. Designing uniform clothing could be a snare. Well, again, the clothing of, i.e. the outer letters of designer uniform gives drum and snare as a type of drum in the musical sense. So 12 across, consequence concerning drums, plural, I suspect. So concerning can be RE, like you would typically find in emails, and drums are an example of percussion, and as a consequence there are repercussions for doing certain things. Let's have another look at 3 down. Lonely, type He, plastic, poly something, polyethylene would fit. Check I'm spelling that correctly. Whoops. Probably something like that. 15 across. Ghetto in Spain. Both short of food. Oh, I hope I don't have to think of a word for ghetto in Spain. I suppose hacienda, I think, is a type of building, but perhaps it's more simple than that, I think. The definition's probably food, but it will be generic. Well, ghetto in Spain, both short, could be drop the O from ghetto and drop the N from Spain. And if you jumble that lot, I think you can make spaghetti, which is indeed a type of food. 13 down. Rise of criminal case, circle in American region. I hope the definition is rise. Circle can just be the letter O. No, I'm not seeing it just yet. Let's try 18. Getting into taxi, always pivotal. Well, that's an embed. Axial is pivotal. 14 down. Publication by creative artist. Beginning to exacerbate judge. If you exasperate judge, okay, well, certainly here in the UK, there's magistrates, which are a type of judge, and a mag is short for a magazine. Then I think we've got the letters of artist and the letter E for beginning of exasperate. Try 20 across. Not far from Mick Jagger's, perhaps extraordinary worth. 165. Not far from. Well, I know what I want the answer to be, and actually the wordplay here is quite interesting because definition is not far from, and Mick Jagger was famously in a band called the Rolling Stones, and I think if you treat the word extraordinary worth as the letters of worth. Anagramized, you can make throw, presumably therefore a stone's throw. The reference there to the Rolling Stones. Let's go for 16 down. Around 55. Losing cash, yet computer literate. That wants to be tech savvy, just based on the letters we've got. But let's justify it. Well, if we don't think of it as 55, but the number 5 twice, that's where those two V's come from. Then cash yet. Yeah, okay. So that explains that with everything else anagramized. 24 across. Country's intelligence captures central laboratory. Okay, well, the letters in the middle of laboratory are RA, and I think intelligence can be IQ. And therefore, if you put the middle of laboratory inside of intelligence, you can make a rack. Let's see what we can do with 13. I said I wanted the definition to be right. Criminal case could just be the letters of case, where criminal is an anagram indicator. Circle is the letter O. Okay, I'm happy with that still. It's the American region. Escalation is a rise, and it's the Latin part of America, with the circle is inside it, and then you've got the letters of case at the top there. Okay, 26. Want to be heard? Do some baking. Okay, this is a homophone, so if you're making bread, for example, you would need with a K. Well, actually, it's spelled differently anyway. K-N-E-A-D. But as a verb, to want is to need. Let's continue. 27. It's no problem coming in puffed up and under the influence. It's no could be the letters. Problem is an anagram indicator. And then we're meant to think of a word for puffed up, and the definition here is under the influence. Now that could be under the influence in terms of drink or drugs, but I think we're meant to think more general here. Hypnosis or hypnotized, I think, is the correct word here. Let's put it in and see. So it's no is there, and if something's hyped, it's puffed up, it's receiving attention, it's inflated, it's that sort of idea. Okay, 21 down. Wading bird caught by another one. Immediately I can see the word heron is embedded in there. And that is a type of wading bird. 25 across. Most important and complete part of Yorkshire. Okay, so before Yorkshire was called Yorkshire, it was known as, it's a big county, it was known as Riding, East and West Riding. So most important is overriding. Over is complete, it's finished, it's over, it's done with. And riding completes the last part of that. Okay, can we have a stab at 11, I wonder? Key justifier is one getting out of a bind. Yeah, okay. So key can sometimes refer to locks. Key can be important, can even be a reference to Florida Keys, for instance, as an island, but on this occasion it is indeed the key that you might find on your keyboard, ESC in this case. And I suppose that a justifier is an apologist, and an escapologist is somebody who would be escaping out of a tricky situation, a bind, or it might be more literal, say in terms of straitjacket. 19 across, excuse me, syndicates regularly employed so-and-so to disrupt aortic treatment. Syndicates. I think that's probably the definition. Okay. Regularly employed so-and-so. So I think we can take the alternate letters of that. Don't know which side to go yet. Probably O-N actually, given what we're starting with. And I think we're looking at the letters of aortic treatment being an anagram indicator. I think we can probably make consortia here, which are syndicates, groups of people. 7 down. Each prison disturbed yet particular. Well, per is each, I think. Particular. Oh, there is a word called pernickety, and that's justified here actually, because each is per, nick is prison, it's a slang term here in the UK, and yet disturbed are just the letters of yet rearranged to complete the word. 17. Like gardens to be lopsided. Okay, so as is like, and Q is a famous garden in London. 8 down. Ladies curse their garments. That's quite clever. That's women's wear, or women swear if you choose to say it that way. Finally cross, bench and heave. I think this has come up recently in a previous crossword, but the answer is spew for heave. S for finally cross as the last letter, and again a pew is a bench, quite often seen in churches. 23 down. Old Impressionist briefly made a comeback. I think old is the definition. Degas is the old Impressionist, as in artist. And if you take Degas and take the S and reverse it, you can make the word aged. 21 down. Pine for young woman. Yeah, okay. So this is a double definition. Pine is a verb. If you pine for something, you want it, you miss it, in fact. And a young woman is referred to as Miss. And there we go. That was today's Financial Times crossword by Goliath. Over rather too quickly, actually, and I thought that Goliath is usually a bit harder than this, but nevertheless, still really enjoyable. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next one.